But now we have 25 million jobs that are in jeopardy of being lost because there's no succession plan.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Newsroom. I am Neil Winteregg, joined today by Dr. Greg Winteregg, CEO of Matterhorn Business Development, author and dentist. And today we are going to mix things up. He has an article that he found that he wanted to talk about, and I don't know anything about it. So we're going to hear from him.
Turned. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So I found this interesting article because it's about baby boomers and small business owning baby boomers. And it's a very interesting article. This is my generation.
It's a CNBC article.
It's a CNBC article. And it says, as baby boomers retire, Main Street could face a tsunami of change. Now, Main Street being Main Street America, Main Street.
Mom and pop shops.
Mom and pop.
Restaurants, places like that. Okay.
So the 4 key points here, and we'll take these on, but just to kind of give you an overview of the article. Baby boomer business owners are retiring in record numbers. Hello, it's time to retire, right? Fueling a dramatic paradigm shift on Main Street. So the usual way of doing business is going to have to change. Boomers own 2.34 million small businesses, but employ more than 25 million people. Now,
yeah, we've talked about this.
Yeah,
89, 90% of businesses are small businesses in America.
Which is under 20 employees.
Yeah.
All right. So many are at a crossroads and need to determine if they will be selling their business or passing it on to a successor. But a recent survey by Wilmington Trust shows that more than 58% of small business owners have no transition or succession plan. Now, I talk about this in my book because it's real interesting. Whoever starts a small business and has fewer than 20 employees, they're in the middle of the day-to-day production of the product or the service.
Yeah.
And they've been able to stay open for more than 5 or 10 years, which now they've beat the average because 2/3 of businesses close within 10 years. So they've beaten the average, but usually what they've done, they've beaten the average by just good, hard work, doing the books on the kitchen table at night and just really grinding it out. But now we have 25 million jobs that are in jeopardy of being lost because there's no succession plan.
Okay.
So the article also goes on to state, and we'll put it in the link below, that what's happening is millennials are kind of going off in another direction and they don't want to stay in the mom and pop business.
Right.
They want to go to the big city, or they've seen how hard mom and dad have worked and I don't want to work that hard and I'm going to retire, 20 years, when at age 35 or...
Millennials are ruining everything.
Well, we knew it would come back to your generation. But I guess here's the thing that I want to talk about. And we have our own small family business. I was raised in a restaurant, which was a small family business. However, I didn't want to take over the restaurant. I had my own path that I wanted to carve.
Yep.
But here's the mistake that I think my dad and my uncle made. They never looked for their successor. It was not going to come from within the family.
Yeah.
But they should have been looking outside of the family. And I know there were people that I worked with at that restaurant that if they would have been offered some sort of a management position, that they could have moved up, taken over, been given a percentage.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, they eventually sold it to somebody outside of the restaurant because the guy came in and he had a bunch of money and it flopped in less than a year. Is that correct?
Well, actually, they got it back in 10 years. But it was completely destroyed.
It wasn't anything of what it was before.
And the
menu
guy,
was different. Everything was different.
The guy who they sold it to had never been in the restaurant business before. He changed the menu from a family sit-down style to a buffet, added on to the building, and just completely ruined the brand, which was completely lame, but he had no idea what he was doing. Where I know of at least 2 people who are about my age who could have grown up into that business.
So are you suggesting something like, we'll take the restaurant for example.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to move you up. You're going to become like a general manager.
Exactly.
You're going to have a 10% ownership stake.
Exactly.
To get started and then work out some sort of as the years go on, compensation plan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay.
Yeah. And then think about this, because as a small business owner, if it's all on you, it's all dependent on you, and you don't have a successor, okay, well, 25 million jobs are in jeopardy, but what about your retirement? And most small business owners, and we've talked about this in our Profit First series, have not set aside enough money to retire off of. And so I look at the Social Security checks that people are getting. I have no idea how they live off of $1,200 or $1,500 a month. So let's just say you do bring on this younger person like you.
Yep.
You're involved in the business and you're given a stake, and now you have ownership. You have some skin in the game. And it's obviously a business that you like. You've been there for years. You have some sort of a production record. You've shown that you're dedicated to the cause.
Plus, if you do it right, you could maintain the majority ownership of the business. I would be the minority owner, but I would be the one working every day, and you would be the one playing golf, still collecting an owner's share.
Yeah.
That's your retirement plan.
Exactly. And if you have a business, like let's just say the average Social Security check is $1,500. Heck, let's say it's $2,000. I don't know that it's that much, but let's say it's $2,000 a month.
Easier math.
Yeah, easier math. Okay, $24,000 a year, etc. So then if you have a business that is giving you $2,000 a month, you now have just doubled your retirement income. You don't have to worry about the stock market, the price of gold, the price of oil, which is completely out of your control. I'm all about control. So you still maintain a piece of the business, even if it's you're only getting 10 or 20%. At some point, the percentages switch.
Yeah.
And heck, upon your death, there's an insurance policy on you, and your family gets the insurance policy. You would get the business. I mean, there's smart people out there that can figure out how to do this. So this article to me really hits home, maybe because it's my generation and your generation trying to work together. And it's,
well, I'd say from my point of view, as a younger person, where am I? So as a younger person, to me, this tells me that if the right entrepreneurs take the right point of view, they could acquire some businesses at a good price.
Yes.
There's not going to be a lot of demand for these small businesses. Pick up some businesses at a small price, upgrade them to a certain degree to modern, slightly more modern than the baby boomer era, and actually maintain a niche in the market.
Absolutely.
It's almost like, it's like the cool thing that's going to come back around.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you start buying the bell bottoms now, knowing that in 4 or 5 years, they're going to become really big again, right?
Right. It's similar to that.
Yeah, it's similar to seeing that in advance in the future.
But rather, and I guess here's part of the whole millennial thing that I disagree with. There's like animosity that is being bred between your generation and my generation.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, millennials are this and baby boomers are that. And, we're supposed to be all fuddy-duddies and you guys are just
well, millennials did take down the Amtrak dining car. So they have all kinds of power.
Don't go there. So the point here is what I'm always doing is, number one, I'm always looking for my successor. I'm always looking for my replacement. And I'm not trying to just mother hen this business, and I can't really afford to bring you on, and I can't really afford to give you 10% because how am I going to pay my bills? Well, if I bring you on, then we're going to expand the company. And that's what we have to have an agreement. So whether you're related to this person or not, you should be looking for somebody of this generation, if you're in my generation, and keep the business rolling.
And just to state, there are a lot of millennials out there who aren't totally with the plan. Right?
But
at the same time, there's probably the same amount of baby boomers that also are not with the plan.
Correct.
So there's a lot of very good, hardworking millennials, and they're very smart and they're very talented. And there's also a lot who just want free stuff and don't want to work, and they just want to have Postmates bring them dinner every night.
And I've talked to thousands of business owners over the last 35, 40 years. And they start to vibrate at the thought of giving somebody 10%. Well, they need to pay me for this or that. Well, how long have they been there? 5 years. Are they dedicated? Yes, they're my best employee. Good. Give them 10%.
Yeah.
Just give it to them.
Yeah.
And then they'll work harder, and then we expand. And so I've seen too many business owners freak out about, well, they got to have some skin in the game. Well, they've been there for 5 years, and they're your best employee. Let's include them.
Yeah, you have to give them a piece of it to entice them. And don't give them 50%. That's the biggest thing people do is they turn over half of it. Now you're stuck. Give them 5%.
You're better off. So let's say Neil's been with me for 5 years and I'm going to give him 10%. Oh, but here comes this person unknown with a checkbook. They're going to buy 50% of my company. I don't know them. They have no production record. that is a disaster.
Always a bad move.
That's a disaster
Always a
waiting
bad
to
move.
happen.
Now here's
So-
an alternative plan, and I know
ahead.
people have done this. You own this business.
Yeah.
You want me to stick around and entice me, but you don't want to give me, let's say, a percentage of the business. So what they do is they pay me like I'm a 10% owner.
Yeah.
I get a 10% owner share,
Right.
but I'm not actually the owner. But the agreement is that the more money the business makes, the more money I can make. That's enticement right there. You maintain 100%, but I have more enticement to grow.
Yep.
That's also, guess what? That's thinking outside the box. I know it's hard sometimes, but you got to think outside the box sometimes.
Exactly. So my successful pattern throughout my entire business career is, number one, I'm always looking for my replacement, and I always invest in that replacement, whether it's training or whatever.
Yeah.
And so then I have the freedom to come and go, and it doesn't really matter to me what happens in the stock market or oil or gold, because I'm just constantly generating different sources of income
Right.
that I control.
And I would also say, if you are in the baby boomer category and you're getting closer to retirement age or you're past retirement age, you don't always have to retire either. We've talked about this previously.
I'm never retiring.
Yeah, we've talked about this previously. Like, keep busy.
Yeah.
Do something that keeps you interested and excited, and
Yep.
you'll live longer. It's
Absolutely.
true. It's science.
For
So
sure.
yeah, I mean, you don't always have to just sell all of your business because, well, now I'm 63 and that's what I'm supposed to do, or
Right.
whatever. And they keep lowering that age, by the way. The retirement age just
Right.
keeps going out of
Crazy.
control.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope that you learned something new
Yeah.
here. The article is going to be listed down below. Be sure you check it out. We'd love to hear from you and hear your thoughts on it. Give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week on the next Newsroom.